The fluorescent lights hummed overhead as Marcus Williams pushed his cart down the marble hallway of Apex Industries, his weathered hands gripping the handle with quiet determination. At 42, his back ached from years of mopping floors and emptying trash bins, but he never complained. Every callus on his palms, every sore muscle in his shoulders was worth it for the smile on his 8-year-old daughter Emma's face when he helped her with homework each night. The photograph tucked in his shirt pocket to Emma missing her 2 front teeth, grinning at her school's science fair reminded him why he worked double shifts, why he swallowed his pride when executives looked through him like he was invisible, why he cleaned up after people who earned in a day what he made in a year. "Daddy, when I grow up, I want to invent something that helps people," Emma had whispered the night before, her small hand in his as they walked past the expensive cars in the company parking lot. Marcus had squeezed her fingers gently, knowing that his janitorial salary barely covered rent and her medical bills from the asthma attacks that sent them to the emergency room far too often. But tonight, everything would change in ways Marcus never could have imagined. The elevator dinged as it reached the 37th floor, where CEO Victoria Sterling's corner office commanded a view of the entire city. Marcus had cleaned her office for 3 years, always after hours when the building was empty. He knew her routine as she stayed late most nights, buried in contracts and mergers that moved millions of dollars with the stroke of a pen. As Marcus approached her office, he could hear raised voices through the thick mahogany door. Mrs. Sterling was on the phone, her usually controlled tone cracking with desperation. "No, you don't understand," she was saying. "My daughter needs this surgery. The specialist in Switzerland is her only hope. I don't care what it costs her." The line went dead. Through the glass wall, Marcus watched the most powerful woman he knew collapse into her leather chair, her perfectly styled blonde hair falling across her face as she buried her head in her hands. Marcus knocked softly. "Mom, I'm here to clean your office." Victoria looked up, her mascara smudged, her usual armor of confidence stripped away. "Not tonight, Marcus. Please." But Marcus had already noticed the papers scattered across her desk: medical reports, second opinions, treatment plans. The words rare genetic condition and experimental procedure jumped out at him. Beside the documents sat a framed photo of a beautiful 10-year-old girl with Victoria's eyes and a fragile smile. "Is everything all right, Mrs. Sterling?" Victoria laughed bitterly. "Everything's fine. Just my daughter dying, and the one doctor who might be able to save her refusing to see her because our insurance company is fighting the claim." Her voice broke. $10 million for a surgery that might give her a chance to live past her 15th birthday. Marcus set down his cleaning supplies and moved closer. "What's wrong with her?" "Progeria," Victoria whispered. "Rapid aging syndrome. She's 10 years old with the body of an elderly person. Every day, I watch her get weaker while I sit in boardrooms moving money around like it's a game." She looked up at Marcus with eyes full of pain. "You must think I'm pathetic, crying to the janitor about my problems." "No, Mom, I think you're a mother who loves her daughter." Something in Marcus's gentle tone made Victoria continue. "Dr. Hoffman in Geneva has developed a gene therapy that could slow the progression, maybe even reverse some of the damage. But he only takes cases he believes in, and apparently, the daughter of an American CEO doesn't qualify for his compassion." Marcus was quiet for a long moment, processing what he'd heard. Then he pulled out his phone and scrolled through his contacts until he found the name he was looking for. "May I use your computer, Mrs. Sterling?" Victoria stared at him in confusion but gestured toward her desk. Marcus sat down and began typing an email with the careful precision of someone who'd composed many important messages despite his humble circumstances. "What are you doing?" "Writing to Dr. Hoffman," Marcus replied, his fingers moving across the keyboard. "I worked with him 15 years ago when I was in the Army Medical Corps, before Emma was born, before my wife got sick, before." He trailed off, focusing on the screen. "Klaus always said he became a doctor to help children who had no other hope." Victoria moved behind him, reading over his shoulder as Marcus crafted a message in fluent German, explaining the situation with a warmth and humanity that no amount of money could buy. He wrote about a mother's love, about a little girl who deserved a chance to grow up, about how hope sometimes came from the most unexpected places. "You speak German?" "And French and Arabic," Marcus said quietly. "I was a field medic before Emma's mum died. Had to give it all up to take care of my daughter." He hit send and turned to face Victoria. "Dr. Hoffman lost his own son to a rare disease when he was young. He'll understand what you're going through." Victoria's phone buzzed within minutes. Dr. Hoffman's response was immediate and warmer. He remembered Marcus fondly and would be honored to help the daughter of his old friend. He could see them the following week. "I don't understand," Victoria said, tears streaming down her face. "Why would you help me? I barely acknowledge you exist. I've been nothing but cold to you for years." Marcus stood up, straightening his janitor's uniform with quiet dignity. "Because your daughter deserves a mother who's whole, and because helping people isn't about what they've done for you, it's about what's right." 2 weeks later, Marcus was mopping the same hallway when Victoria approached him, but this time she wasn't alone. A young girl with bright eyes and a smile that could light up the world held her mother's hand. "Marcus," Victoria said, her voice thick with emotion, "I'd like you to meet my daughter, Sophie." "Sophie, this is the man who saved your life." Sophie let go of her mother's hand and hugged Marcus around the waist. "Mummy says you're a hero." "No, sweetheart," Marcus said, kneeling down to her level. "Your mommy's the hero. She never gave up on you." Victoria placed a hand on Marcus's shoulder. "The treatment is working. Dr. Hoffman says with continued therapy, Sophie could live a normal lifespan." She paused, wiping away tears. "I've been thinking a lot about what really matters. About the kind of company I want to run, the kind of person I want to be." She handed Marcus an envelope. "I'm promoting you to head of our new community outreach division. Your job will be to find ways for Apex Industries to help people who need it most. The salary is..." She named a figure that made Marcus's knees weak. "Mrs. Sterling, I can't accept this." "Yes, you can. And you will. Because I need someone with your heart running this program. Someone who understands that our success means nothing if we don't use it to lift others up." That evening, Marcus picked up Emma from her after-school program, his heart full as he watched her race toward him with her backpack bouncing. "Daddy, guess what? I got an A on my science project." "That's wonderful, sweetheart." He scooped her up in his arms, no longer worried about their rent payment or the medical bills or whether she'd have everything she needed. "I wrote about heroes," Emma said, wrapping her arms around his neck. "About how the best heroes are the ones who help people even when nobody's watching." Marcus held his daughter close, thinking about Victoria and Sophie, about second chances and the unexpected ways life could change in a single moment of kindness. "What did you learn about heroes, Emma?" "That they're not always wearing capes or flying around. she said seriously. Sometimes they're just regular people who choose to be good when it's hard. Like you, Daddy. As they drove home past the glittering lights of the city, Marcus realized that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply show up with an open heart, ready to help however you can. He'd learned that kindness was never wasted, that dignity wasn't determined by your job title, and that the most important work anyone could do was to see the humanity in others and respond with compassion. In his wallet, next to Emma's photo, he now carried a picture Victoria had given him, a Sophie laughing on a swing set, healthy and strong and full of help for the future. 2 fathers, 2 daughters, 2 families forever connected by a moment when one person chose to care about another's pain and do something about it. The janitor had become the hope that a desperate mother needed, not through wealth or status, but through the simple recognition that we're all connected, all struggling, all deserving of compassion. And in helping others, Marcus had discovered that sometimes saving someone else's child is exactly how you save your own future too.